Hi everyone. One of the most talked topics in headlines today is gun control and the gun violence that we deal with in school campuses and in schools, high schools. The policies that I'm going to go over with you that I think we should develop to address these issues that would help. I think the first thing that needs to be done is we need to change the gun laws. The gun laws should be changed to 21 or older to purchase a gun. I don't think that we should be allowed to purchase any gun accessory parts or guns at all on the internet so anybody could buy them. They could be mailed to the house. If we go and change those things, then these incidents would not happen. Since 2013, there has been 63 incidents that were considered school shootings, whether they were in school parking lots, on campus, on school grounds. Where they were near schools, that's where they consider them. But this number needs to change. The first thing I think that needs to be done for the policy should be the environment of the school. If we were to put metal detectors in each exit or entrance of the school to have everyone scanned as they are coming in and leaving, that would change the way students would bring in a weapon, or even an outsider to bring in a weapon, a guest, a visitor. I think that when a visitor goes to knock on the door to visit the school, they should be greeted at the door, not even be allowed in, and their ID should be checked. Their reason of why they are there should be stated, and if they need to be entered the building at all, or it could be handled outside at that doorway. I recently had to go to my son's school to drop off his lunch, and when I rang the bell, they had a mailbox container, and they told me to put the lunch in the mailbox, and that was it, and I left. So I never even entered the building. I just rang the bell, dropped off the lunch in the box, and I left. Because there was no reason for me to even enter the building, and they could have walked out and grabbed the lunch, which I thought was a very safe thing to do. And I didn't have to worry if he was going to have any unknown people. It made me feel better too leaving. The next policy that should be addressed should be there should be law enforcement on each school ground. There should be a ratio too of how many students there are versus how many police officers need to be there. So if the school is larger, there should be more than one officer that can accommodate for the building. And the campus should have the police officer there during all business hours while the school is open, so no one has the opportunity to bring in a weapon, or the issue could be controlled. The officer should have training on how to handle the shooting or a stabbing, whatever issue that is going on in that environment. And they should be aware of what's going on with the children. They should be involved. The officer should have the authority to search a student if they feel as if something suspicious is going on. They should have the right to report the student to the authorities, to the school, to the principal, to have the student questioned. And the police should be up to date on their training. Recently, with the Florida shooting, the officer that didn't go into the building because he was scared didn't probably have the proper training to handle this kind of shooting. And if the officer was trained into knowing what to do, there would be no second guessing and everything would be up to date. Another policy should be the teachers should be educated too, and they should be paying attention to their students of their behavior. The teacher should also have the right to either carry a gun on them, and they should even have the training too to handle a school shooting if there is one, how to handle a gun, and that should be free for the teachers to take a course like that. Not that they have to, but just in case if they feel better. And it would be better for the students to know if their teacher has the ability to prevent something like this to happen. The teacher must report any suspicious activities or a student that is going through a rough time, and it must be taken serious. I think that the teacher should also follow up on what was done with that student. If there was anything out of the ordinary, the teacher should be more involved. The policy see something, say something should be also practiced in the schools and even colleges. Anything that seems odd or out of the ordinary should be reported to a staff member or the police officer, and it should be handled right on the spot. Everything must be reviewed that was reported, and even if it's something so small, what would it hurt to look into something for just a little bit or question somebody, even though it wasn't a big deal to them? There has been many reports about the FBI having information about the Florida shooting, about multiple shootings that have happened. And if they would have just taken the time to, instead of brushing it off, saying, oh, well, it's really not that big of a deal, he's just an odd kid, or he is into guns, or he's just showing off, or, being a macho man, maybe these things would have been prevented if they took it serious, if they followed through with something, or if they questioned it more or pressured the student more. Another thing that should be offered in policy should be counseling for the students. There should be a 24-hour counselor available to anyone who feels as though they're going to harm someone or harm themselves. The teacher should have access to the counselor also to notify the counselor about this student, and the counselor should go and do their job and follow through, see what's going on at home. Another issue that we have in society is mental illness. So if the students had the counselor access for 24 hours every day of the week, then maybe the mental health issues would be taken care of. Maybe things would be taken serious and the individual would be able to seek the help that they need. Another policy should be put in place is the punishment. The students and everybody should know what punishments will they encounter after doing this kind of act or threat. I think any threat should be taken serious, and the student should be expelled and not be able to attend any public school or any school at that matter, and to handle a fine. Possibly maybe the parents could handle a fine too, and maybe that would make the parents more involved in seeing what their child's doing and what's going on in their life. The students should be banned from buying any gun when they do reach 21 though, because of that issue, and there should be a harder screening for them to pass because of an issue that they had threatened a school when they were younger, or they still show signs of a mental illness. The student could possibly face jail time as a punishment too for a threat. Recently, just the one in PA, that child was, I think he was 19, and he had a whole plan set out. They found the guns and everything. They took it serious, and he's facing a major outcome for his threat and his plan. And I feel as though if the act is carried out and, innocent lives are taken, that there should be an automatic face a penalty, and you should lose your life for hurting someone who didn't do anything to you. And in conclusion, if we just change everything and take things serious, mental health, having teachers being able to have the ability to access the help and notice children's behavior, that should help with these policies and making our schools safer. I think that's the only thing that everyone in general with this whole issue wants, is that just they want their children to be safe. I know I personally do with my two kids, that I want them to be safe going to school. I don't want to have to worry about them. The teachers and the officers need to be aware. I don't think anybody strange should be on campus. I think the guns just need to change. I think we just need to pay attention more in society, and things should hopefully get better if they can. I think we just need to work as a team, and I hope this number of 63 incidents from 2013 starts decreasing and hopefully we see 0. Thanks for watching.